The UFC is back in Baku, Azerbaijan for a fight night between Rafael Fiziev and Manuel Torres. In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys all my quick predictions, quick picks for every single fight on this card. Before we go ahead and get into the video, let me know in the comments down below who you guys are picking in this main event. But without further ado, let's get into it with the early prelim opener of Tahir Abdullayev taking on Jefferson Nascimento. Black screen versus black screen. No pictures, no records on the UFC website, of course. But I'm going to break down this fight nonetheless because I think this is one of the more 50-50 fights. A very recently added fight to this card. Tahir Abdullayev is from Azerbaijan. He is going to be representing his country in Azerbaijan. So he's got the home crowd advantage. He's like 21-3, I believe. He's only lost a few times in his professional career. Lots of wins as well. He's more of a grappler. He fights at 170. This fight is at 170. Jefferson Nascimento is a 155er, moving up to 170. Like I said, short notice. So Nascimento obviously didn't cut weight. They decided 170. This is going to favor Tahir Abdullayev. He's going to be the bigger guy. He's going to be more physical. He's going to have a grappling advantage. But Jefferson Nascimento is undefeated. He's 13-0. I think he's fought the better competition in LFA. And I kind of rate LFA. I rate some guys that come out of LFA. And Jefferson Nascimento is undefeated. All of his wins pretty much by finish. In LFA, he's on a great win streak at the moment. Tahir Abdullayev as well on a great win streak. A lot of finishes as well. So this should be a scrap. This should be a very fun fight. But this comes down to the wrestler versus the striker, in my opinion. I think Jefferson Nascimento is definitely the better striker. But I'm going to go with Tahir Abdullayev. From what I've seen, from the tape study I've done, I think Jefferson is the favorite. And I understand he's undefeated, got a bunch of finishes. But he's moving up to 170. He's going to have the lighter man skill, don't get me wrong. But I think Tahir Abdullayev is just going to be more of a physical presence in the octagon, in Baku, in Azerbaijan, in front of his home crowd. I think we're going to see Tahir Abdullayev get straight to the takedowns. I don't think he's going to mess around on the feet with Nascimento. I think Tahir is going to be more physical. He's going to get inside, get trips, get body locks. He likes the body lock takedowns or a blast double leg. So I think Tahir Abdullayev is going to get in on the hips, take down Jefferson Nascimento, and just kind of grapple and wrestle fuck this guy for 15 minutes. I think that's going to be the tale of this fight. Obviously, Jefferson, if he does show good takedown defense, I haven't seen too much in the tape study. There's not too much tape to watch. It's going to be interesting if he can stuff the takedowns, if he can get back to his feet. But I think Tahir Abdullayev is just too physical for Jefferson Nascimento. Nascimento is smaller. He is a lighter man. I think Tahir Abdullayev is just going to physically impose him and dominate him throughout this fight. I don't think it's going to be a 30-27, but I think it'll be a close 29-28 for Tahir Abdullayev. I'm going to pick Tahir Abdullayev to win in Baku, Azerbaijan, in front of his home crowd by decision, 29-28. We move on to the next fight, which is a fucking banger. Beksa Almakhan taking on Gene Matsumoto. This is a banger. And I know bangers, okay? And this is a banger. Beksa Almakhan taking on Gene Matsumoto. Both very high-level bantamweights. Like, these are two guys that honestly, put their records aside, put their losses aside, these two guys can be ranked. Gene Matsumoto was one judge scorecard away from being a ranked bantamweight. Maybe not now with the AI rankings, but he was one judge's scorecard away from being a ranked bantamweight. Barely lost to Rob Font by split decision. I do believe he lost that fight. A lot of these unks on YouTube are saying Gene Matsumoto won that fight. No, he did not. No, he did not. His face was covered in blood. He was getting whooped up on the feet by fucking 40-year-old Rob Font, okay? And he lost that last fight against Bastrop. People saying he won that fight. What were you watching that I wasn't? What were you watching that I wasn't? Gene Matsumoto is on a 2-fight losing streak. Or a 1-fight losing streak. I think he had a win in between by split decision. This guy loves to go to some fucking split decisions or some close decisions so that the fans can be like, he got robbed. Gene Matsumoto should be ranked. He got robbed. Get that shit out of here, okay? Nonetheless, Gene Matsumoto is very high level. He's young in his career. He's got great wrestling, solid striking. You know, he's not the most fast guy, but he comes in with this kind of boxing style. He'll march you down. He's got great cardio, but he does take damage very badly. He gets bloodied up in almost every single one of his fights. If you jab him to the face, he's bleeding. You know, if you pop his nose, he's fucking bleeding. If you punch his head back and pop his head back, he will be bleeding. Beksa Almakhan on the other side, phenomenal striker. Phenomenal striker. I don't want to glaze Beksa Almakhan. Phenomenal striker. Nasty one-shot knockout power. Big power in the hands at 135. He's a big physical 135er. Really amazing striking. Not the best takedown defense. Not the best grappling whatsoever. If Gene Matsumoto gets Beksa Almakhan down, We're probably going to see a boring 29-28 grapple fest from Gene Matsumoto. Don't get me wrong. Maybe a submission. But I do think Beksa Almakhan can keep this on the feet. Because a lot of people here are going to be picking Gene Matsumoto. I understand. I get it. Gene's very well-rounded. People think he got robbed. All these fuckers think this guy got robbed back to back to back. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make... And arguably his win, his split decision win in between his two losses was a fucking robbery. So this guy's got... He's got judges literally split on him every single time because he takes brutal damage, but he throws more volume. He's pushing forward. He's marching forward. The problem is he takes damage and he gets punched and he doesn't make the best decisions in the octagon. He's still young. Beksa Almakhan is the older fighter. He's the more experienced fighter. Even though Gene Matsumoto has a lot more professional fights, Beksa Almakhan has fought a crazy amount of times on the regional scene, like before his professional debut. An insane amount of time. This guy's got crazy amount of fights, and they're all by knockout. Pretty much all by knockout. This guy is nasty. Do I think he's going to knock out Gene Matsumoto? Probably not, because Matsumoto's tough. He's got a lot of heart, but I'm going to pick Beksa Almakhan to win this fight. I'm going to pick Beksa Almakhan to win this fight. A little bit of a biased pick because I did watch this guy slime out Brad Katona live, and it was a fucking nasty knockout, and I loved it. Even though I'm Canadian, I felt for Brad. But Beksa's got one-shot knockout power. He's very calculated. He's very tough. His two losses are to Umar Nurmagomedov and Alexandre Topuria. Nurmagomedov and Topuria are his two fucking losses. How can you judge that? How can you be like, oh, he's terrible? There's some people on YouTube making their fucking predictions saying Beksa Almakhan's terrible when his two losses are Umar Nurmagomedov and Alexandre Topuria. What are you smoking? Okay, I'm picking Beksa Almakhan. He's fought the better competition. He's lost to the better competition. I think he's the way better striker. He doesn't take damage like Gene Matsumoto does. And he's going to be there the full 15 minutes. And he's going to be knocking Gene Matsumoto's head off his fucking neck, okay? Give me Beksa Almakhan by decision. Maybe a knockout. I could see a knockout, but I'm going to go Beksa by decision. I feel he's just going to be the better striker here, and that's going to be the tail of the tape. Gene Matsumoto marching forward like a Rob Font fight. It's the same fucking fight, except the fact that Beksa's younger, faster, more powerful, and more explosive. Give me Beksa Almakhan by decision. Maybe a late round TKO. Give me Beksa as the prediction. We move on to the next fight, which is Danil Donchenko taking on Theodore Bergen. Theo Bergen versus Danil Donchenko. Late notice for Theodore Bergen. Danil Donchenko was supposed to fight Gustafsson? Gustafsson, yeah. He's supposed to fight Gustafsson. Instead, they got a different Swedish guy to fight him. Theodore Bergen. Excuse me. Danil Donchenko should win this fight. He should win this fight. Is he a minus 500 favorite? I don't know. But I think this is going to be a scrap back and forth. Theodore Bergen is not a quitter. He's not a quitter. He's very tough, very durable. He's going to be in this fight. But I do think Danil Donchenko is just faster, stronger, more powerful, more experienced at the higher level, right? Theodore Bergen, I believe he's 8-3 in his professional career. He's never been knocked out. So I don't think Danil Donchenko is going to be the first to do that, even though he's got really big power. And I wouldn't be surprised if Danil puts him out. But I'm going to pick Danil Donchenko to win this fight by decision. I think he's going to win every round. Theodore Bergen is a good wrestler, but I don't think he's a good enough wrestler to just absolutely dominate a guy in Danil Donchenko who's big, he's powerful, very experienced. You know, he fought on Tough, destroyed everybody on Tough, and now he's in the UFC. He just beat Alex Morono. He probably should have finished old-ass Alex Morono, but he did go pillar to post with him, and the judge or the refs just wanted Alex Morono to die in the first round. He just wanted this dude to fucking die, so he let him just keep going. And Alex Morono probably lost like years off his life in that fight. But I'm going to go Danil Donchenko to win this fight by decision, 30-27. I think he'll win every single round. Give me Danil Donchenko as the pick. I think this one's pretty straightforward. We move on to the next fight, which is Con Offley taking on Javier Reyes. Dude, why do I feel a Con Offley split decision? I feel a Con Offley split decision, bro. Like, I don't know. Con Offley, tell me I'm crazy. Con Offley is the merchant of decisions. This guy is a merchant at getting close decisions. But he's fighting Javier Reyes, who's just a fucking blockhead. Who's a dude who's just going to come at you and just throw hands for forever. And, dude, it's like, will Con Offley's chin hold up? If his chin holds up, I think Con Offley is just going to win a fucking close 29-28. That's what I think it'll be. But if not, I think Javier Reyes will chin him. The problem is Javier Reyes is chinning himself. So will Konofsky chin him? Fuck. This one's a tricky one. This is a tricky one. But dude, I'm gonna pick Konofsky. Call me crazy. I'm gonna pick Konofsky. I picked against Javier Reyes in his last one. I picked 40-year-old fucking what's his name, bro? De Silva, Andrade, bro, and he almost finished him. He dropped Javier Reyes bad and then just made a retarded IQ 40-year-old move and didn't follow up, didn't finish him, and then got finished himself. So I think Konofsky's smarter. He's more tactical. He's got cleaner striking. Javier Reyes kind of just fucking like a caveman. Sorry, guys, I'm sick. That's why I've been a little inactive. But I think Konofsky will win this fight. I think he'll either win by Javier Reyes getting overzealous and just getting chinned and getting clipped, or Konofsky will win a classic 29-28, very close decision. People are like, no way Konofsky won. Because he robbed the fuck out of Yiza in his last fight. He lost that fight. Let's not pretend like Konofsky won that fight. But I'm going to pick Konofsky to win this fight by either catching Javier Reyes coming in, or it'll just be a decision. I'd say it's a 50-50, but I'll lean more decision. So I'll go Konofsky decision. Maybe he catches Javier Reyes if Reyes is really just retarded, doesn't have any defense, just comes in like this and just like a caveman. But I'm going to go with Konofsky to win this fight by decision or a TKO. Give me Konofsky as the prediction. We move on to Nursultan Ruziboyev taking on Andre Pulyaev. Dude, the battle of the big man. 6'5 versus 6. I was about to say 6'7. Oh my fucking god. Dude, I was about to say 6'5 versus 6'7. God damn, I need help. Nursultan Ruziboyev 6'5 taking on Andre Pulyaev 6'4. But look at these guys' record. Dude, 36-9 and 2 no con. This guy's fought almost 50 times professionally. That's fucking ridiculous. And the dude's still like 30. And Andre Pulyaev on the other side, I feel like people know Pulyaev because he went the distance with Atama Gauthier. And we're like, oh my god, he won that fight. Yo, the amount of people that said Andre Pulyaev won that fight are actually smoking crack. Gauthier dropped him in every fucking round. He knocked him down in every round. What are we doing? I don't understand how some MMA fighters' brains work sometimes. I'm like, hello? Is there something in there? Is there something fucking in your brain? Like, I don't get it sometimes. But I'm going to pick Nursultan Ruziboyev to win this fight. I'm going to stop ranting. I think this is pretty clear and clear and cut. Oh my days. I'm slipping up. I think this is pretty clear and cut. Nursultan Ruziboyev is bigger, more experienced. This guy's wrestling is very underrated as well. We have yet to see it in the UFC. Besides against Dustin, I guess we saw it against Dustin Stoltzfus a little bit. He almost got subbed. It was a little bit scary, a little sketchy, but then he ended up on top, and then he just won the rest of the fight. Weird that he didn't finish Stoltzfus. I don't think he's going to finish Pulyaev unless he catches him in a submission, which I could see. I could see a Nursultan Ruziboyev like Darce choke or something. The guy's got insanely long arms. He's very big. He's got really nasty front chokes, so I could see him catching Andre Pulyaev in a choke, but I'm going to go with Nursultan Ruziboyev by decision. Maybe a submission, though. You know what? I'm going to go Nursultan Ruziboyev by submission. Yeah, I'm going to go Ruziboyev by submission. I'm going to say he drops Pulyaev. Pulyaev's on his back, in guard. Ruziboyev goes to the ground with him and then ends up catching him in a front headlock choke and chokes him out. Give me Nursultan Ruziboyev by submission as the prediction. I think Pulyaev is just a bit of a victim. He looks kind of just like he just is fine with taking damage unless he's fighting somebody who's more of a victim. Like, what's his name? Who is that dude he fought? Was it McVeigh? Jackson McVeigh? Yeah, I think it was Jackson McVeigh, or it was one of those guys. You know who I'm talking about. I'm gonna go with Ruziboyev though by submission in the second or third round. Give me Ruziboyev as a prediction. We move on to Abdul Rahman Yakyayev taking on Julius Walker. Man, I have to go Yakyayev. Now I could see a Julius Walker juice box trudge fest here, but let's just be honest. Yakyayev is probably going to get him out of there in the first. Now, I do think Yakyayev is fucking ready to be exposed. Give this guy Iwo Barniewski, and Iwo is doing unspeakable, unfucking heralding things to Yakyayev. I think he's putting him down in the first round and finishing him. But Yakyayev, I think, will crack the top 15, and then he's going to get absolutely exposed because this guy just comes in with his head up in the air. He's young. He's inexperienced. He's never tasted defeat. And he came in there against, what's his name? What's that gorilla guy? His nickname's Gorilla or something. He came in there against that Brazilian dude last fight. And he almost got chinned fucking twice. With like a big overhand right, he got fucking wobbled. And then a head kick, he got wobbled. He ended up getting him with the submission in the first, like after that little sketchy moment. So I do think Yakyayev is going to win this fight. But the second he fights somebody with a little bit of power and a little bit of IQ, I think it's wraps, genuinely. But for now, I'm going to pick Abdul Rahman Yakyayev to win this fight against Julius Walker. The wrestling's too much. The pressure is too much. Yakyayev just comes in immediately. He's trying to go for a finish in the first. He's kind of like Hamzat. I mean, I can't really compare him to Hamzat. He's not as crazy. He's not as insane. But he comes out there the first round. He wants to finish you in the first round, at least early in the career, right? He's coming out there. He's finishing all these blobs. Even though this isn't heavyweight, like Julius Walker's a blob of the light heavyweight division. So give me Abdul Rahman Yakyayev, first round sub, maybe a TKO on the ground. I could see a TKO on the ground, but I think Yakyayev's going to run through a few of these guys, get ranked, then get absolutely destroyed by like a Iwo Baranyuski. I could even see like a fucking, dude, I could see a Bogdan Guskov fucking chinning the fuck out of him. Like, I think the second he cracks the top 15, it's over. I think somebody's going to chin him. Alonzo Menifield, I would pick Alonzo Menifield to chin Yakyayev in the first. Call me crazy, but I'm going to go with Abdul Rahman Yakyayev to win this fight by first round submission or ground and pound TKO. Give me Yakyayev as the prediction. We move on to Farman Hassanov. What? Farman Hassanov versus Eric Nolan. I respect them for giving Eric Nolan another chance. He had a close fight with Susurkaev, but let's be honest, Susurkaev is not all that. He's not. It shouldn't take you till the third round to find some of these finishes against Eric McConaughey and against, who's the last guy he finished? It was some fucking blob or some bum that he finished in the third. It took him all the way to the third to finish him. I don't think Susurkaev is all that. But Eric Nolan gave him a good run for his money, hurt him really bad in the first round, and then inevitably got subbed in the second. I just don't think Eric Nolan is all that. I don't think he is UFC level. You know, and even though Hassanov, fuck me, is 170 moving up to 185, the dude's better everywhere. He's got better wrestling. He's got better striking. He's relatively untested, but Eric Nolan's got 4 defeats in his professional career. He shouldn't be here. I'm going to pick Hassanov by finish in the first or second round. I think he should finish Eric Nolan in Azerbaijan. He's from Baku. He's from Azerbaijan. It's a favorable matchup. It's a guy that, you know, the UFC wants to keep around in Eric Nolan, give him another chance. But this is kind of like, okay, we're giving you another chance, but you're not supposed to win this fight. So I'm going to go with Farman Hassanov by first round or second round TKO. I think he's going to finish Eric Nolan. I just don't think Nolan is UFC level. There's not really much else I can say. I think he deserves another chance. But it should have been the Apex against some bum, not Farman Hassanov in Baku, in Azerbaijan, in front of his home crowd. It's a tough one for Eric Nolan. I think it's going to be a tough one. So give me Farman Hassanov to get this one done in the first or second round by finish. We move on to, what, the main card already? Magomed. Wait, what? Did it change? Did his name change? Magomed. What? Dude, that is definitely not his name. That is definitely not his name. I'm trying to remember his name now. Whatever. Magomedov, he's a Magomedov. Whatever. He's actually from Germany. But he's a Magomedov. Magomedov's taking on Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. And this is a telltale matchup, striker versus grappler. I think if Magomedov doesn't wrestle, he's probably fucked. Probably. I mean, do I think Oleksiejczuk is all that? No. He's got 9 professional defeats. He's lost a fuckload in the UFC. He's finally on a win streak. Join the Fighting Nerds. He's on a little run, okay? Against GM3 and against fucking against Marc-Andre Barrios, my boy. But let's be honest, Marc-Andre Barrios ain't all that. GM3 is nothing at this point in his career. So his win streak's fraudulent. It is. It's very fraudulent. He also knocked out Cedrikas Dumas, who's not in the fucking UFC anymore, who was caught in a dog cage, who got put in prison. So, I think Mikhail Oleksiejczuk's entire win streak is fucking fraudulent. That's what I'm going to say. Dude, and now I'm like, do I pick Magomedov? Because I was going into this thinking about picking Mikhail, but now that I'm thinking about it, this guy's win streak is so fraudulent. He beat fucking he beat Dumas, who's a fucking bum and a blob who just lost to McVeigh and everybody else, and is basically just like the Bonnie Blue of the UFC and prison. And then he beat GM3, who's should be retired and is just a fucking blob. And then he beat Marc-Andre Barrios by like kind of close competitive fight of the night war. I'm going to pick Magomedov. I'm going to pick Magomedov by first or second round submission. Yeah, I think even though Oleksiejczuk is on a good little win streak right now, I think that win streak's fraudulent. I think he's got solid striking. It's a little wonky the way he wings his shot. I hate the way Mikhail Oleksiejczuk strikes. He just like this. Like when he knocked out Dumas, he knocked him out with his fucking forearm. It was the weirdest shit. He's got weird striking, very unorthodox. Maybe it'll confuse Magomedov. Maybe he'll catch Magomedov. I know for a fact if this gets to the second or third round, you're going to see an Oleksiejczuk win. Let's be honest, Magomedov's gas tank is fucking horrendous. But I rate his win over Bruno Ferreira. I rate his win over Bruno Ferreira. I rate a couple of his wins. He almost finished Joe Pyfer. Dude, he almost finished Joe Pyfer in the first round via rear naked choke. Dude, if you're almost finishing Joe Pyfer, Mikhail Oleksiejczuk is like down here compared to Joe Pyfer, in my opinion. Body bags. Turn off the fucking body cam. I'm going to pick Magomedov by first or second round submission. I think Oleksiejczuk's ground game is nothing. Obviously, he's training with the Fighting Nerds. Maybe it's better now, but you got subbed by Kevin Holland with an armbar. Basically broke your arm. I think he did break his arm. I'm going to go with Magomedov by first round rear naked choke. I think he should finish Oleksiejczuk. I mean, Oleksiejczuk, fraudulent record right now. Fraudulent win streak. Wonky-ass striking. The smaller dude. Magomedov's very physical. Decent striking as well. Cardio is sus as hell. So if this gets to the late second, early third, I'm shitting bricks. I think Magomedov's probably getting finished. But I'm going to go with Magomedov first or second round submission. Rear naked choke gets it done. Give me Magomedov. Wait, what's his name again? Dude, I'm trying to remember his name. It doesn't fucking matter. It's not Abuz. It's... Fuck. Give me Magomedov by submission, whatever. That's the prediction. Magomedov by first or second round rear naked choke. We move on to the guy that Magomedov beat, Bruno Ferreira. Ikram Aliskerov taking on Bruno Ferreira. Dude, why is Ikram Aliskerov a minus 300 favorite? Give me Bruno fucking Ferreira. I mean, am I taking Bruno Ferreira? Yeah, give me Bruno fucking Ferreira, even though he's coming off a brutal fucking knockout against Gregory Rodriguez. I saw that shit live. That was nasty. It was nasty. It was a nasty fucking brutal one-shot knockout in the first, like, 30 seconds or minute. I couldn't believe it. So they're 1-1 now, but I'm going to go with Bruno Ferreira. Dude, the wins here are not even competitive. Bruno Ferreira has beat some fucking good guys. Knocking out RoboCop. Knocking out, what's his name? Fuck. I'm so bad at remembering these guys' names, man. He's got a good record, though. Bruno Ferreira has beat some good fucking guys. He's got heavy hands. He is the smaller fighter here. I understand why he's the underdog, but I don't get why he's a, like, plus 270 against Ikram Aliskerov, who got fraud checked multiple fucking times. Now, I know his... Okay. Now, I know his only two losses are to Robert Whittaker and fucking Hamzat Chimaev, but I would say he got fraud checked by the Iron Turtle. Okay? He was literally on his way to being fraud checked by the Iron Turtle, and then the Iron Turtle just made some stupid-ass decisions, and Ikram was able to take him down, hold on to him, and win a decision. But I'm going to pick Bruno Ferreira to win this fight. I think Ikram has another little fraudulent record, you know, a little padded record to get him up there. They've now ranked him. The AI rankings have Ikram ranked over Bruno Ferreira. What the fuck are we doing? Are we smoking crack, AI? Why the fuck is Ikram ranked over Bruno Ferreira? The wins aren't even close. I'm going to go with Bruno Ferreira by first or second round finish. I think this guy's got serious fucking heat in his hands. Bruno the Hulk Ferreira is going to lay one down, lay a big-ass pipe shot right on Ikram Aliskerov. I think he's going to put him out. Call me crazy. I'm going to pick Bruno Ferreira to win this fight. I think Ikram's overrated as fuck. And I understand that the UFC's pushing him. He's a Russian Dagestani. We need him in the welterweight rankings. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Or in the middleweight rank, get him the fuck out of here, okay? Give me Bruno Ferreira by first or second round TKO. I think Ikram is a fraud. And I think he's going to get fraud checked. Give me Bruno by knockout. We move on. Asu Almabayev, Charles Johnson, banger. Banger. I would say inject this into my veins, but maybe don't inject it into my veins. It's not the best fight, but it should be a scrap. And it's a tricky one because it's wrestler versus striker. God damn it. Asu Almabayev. Decent striker. Okay striker. I was very high on Asu Almabayev before he got TKO'd by Manuel Cap, but that shit was a fucking eye poke TKO. He literally went, bah, 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 and then bah, 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 bah. And it was the... Dude, rewatch that fight. Eye poke TKO. I couldn't believe my eyes. Literally, no pun intended. I could not believe my fucking eyes when I watched that eye poke TKO. That loss has aged well because Manel Cap is a fucking force of nature, chinning everybody, like actually chinning Royval in the first round with one right hand, and then chinning Kyoji Horiguchi in the third, brutally. So honestly, Asu Almabayev's loss has aged well, especially since it was illegal eye pokes that led to that loss. And since then, he submitted, what's his name? The guy that beat Charles Johnson. Fuck, what's his name? Bro, I actually can't with the names today. I can't with the names today. But you guys know who I'm talking about. If you know, you know. That's aged very good because Asu Almabayev subbed him with the rear naked choke. He was losing that fight. I mean, it's Alex Perez. Alex Perez is good. He will make it competitive. But he does sometimes sell. And the problem was, he didn't sell against Charles Johnson. He just caught Charles Johnson and fucking finished that boy. Now, the thing is, Charles Johnson is a weight bully. He's big for this division. He's long. He's rangy. He's dangerous. So it's tricky. Because I don't know if Asu Almabayev is going to deal well with the range of Charles Johnson. Now, Charles Johnson's coming off that win over Bruno Silva. I think that was a robbery. Call me fucking crazy. I think that was a robbery. He didn't like the pressure. He didn't like the boxing of Bruno Silva. He was backing up the entire fight. He was getting clipped with the better shots, I believe. I thought that Bruno Silva was hitting the better shots, landing the better connections. But Charles Johnson won by split decision. Whatever. All right, whatever. It was in the Apex. It was in Las Vegas. They don't give a fuck about Bruno Silva's clinching. They don't give a fuck about his pressure. They like Charles Johnson striking, so they gave him the win. He's here against Asu Almabayev. That's all that matters. And I'm going to pick Charles Johnson to win this fight. I was going to go Asu. I'm picking too many underdogs. I'm kind of scared. I was going to go Asu. But I am worried because Asu doesn't like getting hit. Even though he did get eye poke TKO'd by Manel Cap. Even though, you know, Alex Perez was doing good against him and then he finished him. I don't think he's going to sub Charles Johnson. I don't think he's going to get him down, sub him. Charles Johnson has really good wrestling defense, really good takedown defense, and really good submission defense. So I think Asu Almabayev's best chance is just to use the wrestling and just try to get him down. Try to control him. Try to contain him. But while Charles Johnson's on the feet in the bigger octagon, this isn't in the Apex, he's in the bigger octagon, a lot more space to move, a lot more space to operate, a lot more space to strike and be at range. I think Charles Johnson's going to just utilize his range, his height, his distance management, and just kind of pick apart Asu Almabayev. So I'm going to go Charles Johnson by TKO. You know, he's a prospect killer, and I actually do think Asu Almabayev is a prospect. He's not an untested prospect. He's 23-3, a lot of career fights, almost as many as Charles Johnson. But I'm going to go Charles Johnson using those vet moves, using that range, using that distance management, popping the jab, and then landing in connection and in combination. And I think he's just going to connect with a big overhand right, drop Asu Almabayev, and finish him. So I'm going to go Charles Johnson. He's got underrated power, underrated striking. You know, he's been overlooked a lot by the UFC and the rankings. He's been fucked over so many times. He's the only guy to knock out Joshua Van, the champion of the flyweight division, and knock out the number 6 ranked Loner Kavanaugh. Crazy. So I'm going to give Charles Johnson his flowers. Please don't fuck me over. Every time I pick this guy, he loses. So give me Charles Johnson by knockout. I think he's going to find a TKO in the second round. Give me Charles Johnson by TKO. Asu's going to do good early, and then Charles Johnson's going to pull away like he always does, and he's going to chin him. Give me Charles Johnson by knockout in the second. We move on. Nazim Sadikov taking on Matus Camillo. Oh, bro, the Black Wolf. The Black Wolf, bro. That shit hurt me when he lost to Fiziev. You know, that was like prospect versus prospect. And it was a tough one. It was a tough loss. He looked terrible in that fight. Like, he actually got beat pillar to post. He didn't have any success in that fight. This is a completely different fight, though. And he's in Baku. He was on such a great win streak, knocking out guys like before that in Baku, the last year in Baku. That fight, I will never forget that fucking fight against, what's his name? The Brazilian blockhead, bro. What's his fucking name? Give me a second. I need to get in my bag. I'm not in my bag. I can't remember. It's going to come up in a second. But Nazim Sadikov with a generational fight of the night fucking banger in Baku, Azerbaijan last year. And I was in Greece. I was in Athens. I was going to the Coliseum or whatever the fuck it's called. I was going up there and it was epic, bro. That was such a generational trip. I was in Greece. I was in Athens having a fucking time. And then at 2 a.m. in Athens, I'm watching Nazim Sadikov go to fucking war with this Brazilian blockhead in Baku, Azerbaijan, and they're fucking going tit for tat, back and fucking forth, a banger, a fight of the night, both of them getting a 100K bonus. Fight of the night, performance bonus of the night to both, insane fucking war, and Nazim Sadikov brutally chinned him in the second round after a fucking scrap. One of my favorite fights of last year, by far. By fucking far. Made my night. Made my entire trip, okay? So I love Nazim Sadikov, and I was disappointed in his last loss, especially since Fiziev didn't beat Tom Nolan. You know, I feel like Nazim should have wrestled with Fiziev. Clearly, that was something he should have exploited. But he's taking on Matus Camillo. I ranted way too long. Matus Camillo's okay. He's okay. You know, he got fraud checked in his first fight, got submitted after making the stupidest fucking decision, had his opponent in a leg triangle, and then just gave up bottom, gassed his legs out, and got submitted via rear naked choke. But he won his last fight against a not very good opponent in Borshev by decision. Should finish Borshev. You should finish Borshev. I'm going to pick Nazim Sadikov in Baku. I think that's his shit. Dude, when he's in Baku, it's different. That energy is different. And I'm feeling another fight of the night banger from Nazim Sadikov. So give me Nazim, the Black Wolf Sadikov. Don't disappoint me, Sadikov. Please don't disappoint me. And get this one done. I'm going to go with Nazim Sadikov by TKO. I think he's gonna finish Matus Camillo. Even though Camillo's only been finished by... Actually, hold up. Give me Nazim Sadikov by sub. Yeah, I was just thinking about it. Matus has never really been hurt and never really been beat up and finished by TKO. He's only been subbed. So I'm going to go with Nazim Sadikov to drop Matus Camillo and pull off a nasty submission here and put him to sleep. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Give me Nazim Sadikov by submission in the second round. I'm going to go with Nazim, the Black Wolf Sadikov, in Baku, Azerbaijan, in front of his home crowd. It says that he's from Russia. He's not, but... Or is he? Whatever. But he's representing Baku, Azerbaijan. That's all that matters. Give me Nazim, the Black Wolf Sadikov, in Azerbaijan by submission in the second round. We move on to the fucking co-main event. Is this co-main event worthy? Fuck no. Fuck no. But whatever, we'll take it. Sharamagomedov, the one-eyed pirate, taking on Michel Pereira. Dude, Pereira's lost 14. God damn. But this guy's got almost 50 professional fights. God damn. That's a lot of CTE. That's a lot of CTE. I'm just going to be honest. Michel Pereira has looked like a shell of himself after he got whooped by Hernandez in that 5-round main event. After he got fucking demolished by fucking Bo Nichols' victim. After he got demolished by Bo Nichols' fucking victim. It hasn't looked good for Michel Pereira. He got a split decision win in his last one. Didn't really deserve it. It's just, I think Michel Pereira, since losing to Hernandez and since divorcing his wife, let me not get into it, has just looked horrible. And he's fighting Sharamagomedov in Baku. It's a tailor-made matchup for Sharamagomedov, striking fight. Michel Pereira's not going to grapple. He's going to do some crazy shit. But I think Sharamagomedov, even with one eye, he's going to see it coming. It's not an MVP matchup. It's not like a karate-style matchup where you don't know how the fuck to fight this guy. It's a striking matchup, a clear striking matchup where Shara's the better kickboxer, the better striker. And I think he's going to get a nasty knockout over Michel Pereira. Honestly, I think this is a setup fight. I don't want to pick Sharamagomedov and be like, oh, he's a lock, like I did against MVP. Oh my God. Why did I do that? But that's besides the point. I think Shara should win this fight. He's faster. He's younger. He hasn't taken as much damage as Michel Pereira has, and he's not as broken. I think Pereira's broken. You know, I hate to say that about a fighter, but I think Pereira is broken as a fighter. It's good that he got back in the win column. Maybe his confidence is back. Maybe he'll start backflipping again in the octagon, trying to do backflips. But I don't see him pulling that shit off against Shara. I don't. It's the bigger octagon. I think Shara's going to be sticking and moving, kicking him a fuckload. I think Michel Pereira's arms, his forearms are going to be ripped up by kicks to the forearms, to the liver, to the legs. I think Shara's just going to mix it up really nicely with the kickboxing and just absolutely put on a masterclass. I don't think he's a lock, but I do think he's going to kind of just tune up Michel Pereira until the later rounds. I think he's going to find a late second, third round finish. Give me Sharamagomedov by TKO. I think he's going to finish Michel Pereira, break him down with the kicks, and then go with the hands and finish him. So give me Sharamagomedov, TKO, late second, third round, gets it done over Michel Pereira, who I just think is kind of broken. I can't pick Michel Pereira anymore. Even though he won against Zachary Reese, it was such a fucking sweat for him to win that fight. And his cardio is goddamn horrendous. It's horrendous. He lost to Magomedov, the guy I was talking about before, by getting cardio mogged by a guy that has zero fucking cardio. So I can't pick Michel Pereira. Terrible cardio. Broken man. I'm going Sharamagomedov by TKO in late round 2 or 3. He's going to break him down. Michel's going to be gassed out, and he's going to finish him by TKO. Give me Sharamagomedov by finish. We move on to the main event. Rafael Fiziev, Manuel Torres. Now, this is a weird main event because the AI rankings have completely fucked everything. Rafael Fiziev is now the unranked one, and Manuel Torres is a ranked one. This was supposed to be the other way around. This was supposed to be ranked Fiziev defending his spot against Manuel Torres, but things change very quickly when AI gets involved, okay? So Rafael Fiziev, 13-5. Not the best career, but he has lost to good opponents. Early in his career, lost to some shitty fighters, but his other losses are to fucking Justin Gaethje and to, what's his name? Mauricio Rufy. Last one got TKO'd brutally. Really bad loss. I picked Rufy in that fight. Little did I think he was going to knock him out, though. I did not think Rufy was going to knock out Fiziev. But it kind of exposed something. It exposed that you can catch Fiziev if you're the bigger, longer striker. It exposed that Fiziev is really good with his kicks, but when he throws his kicks, he's not defensively sound upstairs. He's not defending his head. And that just leads me to pick Manuel Torres. I'm picking Manuel Torres. Now, I don't like picking a fighter and saying, okay, he's going to knock him out. That's why I'm picking him. Because if he doesn't get the knockout in round 1, this will probably be Fiziev cardio mogging him. Because we've never seen Manuel Torres out of the first round. So, it's going to be a worry for sure. But, dude, I have to ride with the El Loco train. I have to ride with the Manuel Torres train. I think this dude is actually a force. I do. Now, he did get chinned by Ignacio Bahamondes, but I think there is a clear style matchup that is terrible for Manuel Torres, and that style matchup is not Rafael Fiziev. When Manuel Torres fights a smaller guy with less long of a reach, with a blocky guy, he will chin the fuck out of you with ease. We saw it with Drew Dober. We just saw it with Grant Dawson. We've seen it with many of these fucking guys where you're just smaller than him. He will absolutely demolish you and finish you. Even Chris Duncan. Dude, Chris Duncan's kind of the same size as Manuel Torres, maybe even bigger. I think Chris Duncan might be 5'11". Took him down and subbed him. You know, Manuel Torres is very underrated. I think people are still overlooking Manuel Torres, even though this guy is a prime finisher. So dangerous. If you can't outsize this guy and outrange this guy and make him uncomfortable, you are going to get fucking flatlined. And Rafael Fiziev cannot make Manuel Torres uncomfortable. I don't see him making Manuel Torres uncomfortable. Being the smaller fighter. Being a guy who's talked about being at 145 instead of 155. But just not making that cut, not making that move. I think he should try that. Because he's small for 155. He's bulky. He's quite condensed. And he does have really powerful kicks that could be trouble for Manuel Torres. But Rafael Fiziev needs a few rounds to build into a fight. He needs a couple rounds to build into it. When he gets a finish, it's late in the fight. You know, if this is a Rafael Fiziev win, it's going to be him building into this fight slowly. It's not going to be him TKOing Manuel Torres in the first like Ignacio did when Manuel was rushing in trying to finish him. Not to mention, Ignacio was bigger, longer, more rangy, and had a great counter. Rafael Fiziev is not a counter striker. He's a primary striker. He likes to be very, I don't want to say static, but he's very static with his movement. Switches stances beautifully. Has very nice body kicks. I think he can rip the body kicks against Manuel Torres. I think that'll do good for him. And that may slow him down, make Manuel Torres not want to pressure as much. If Fiziev can slow down Torres in the first round, I think Fiziev will win this fight. The problem is I don't see him slowing down the bigger, more physical, more dangerous fighter here. Because that's just what Torres is. He's like a bull. And Fiziev is the matador. Or that's what it is, right? Like, Manuel Torres is the bull. He's coming at him. And I don't think Fiziev is good enough of a matador to dodge what Manuel Torres is going to be throwing back at him, because we saw it with Grant Dawson. Grant Dawson tried to make it out of that first round. He tried to just matador his way around and just slip the punches and try to just get out of that first, get to the second and third, and grapple and win that fight. But he couldn't do it. And we just saw Grant Dawson have a great win against Matus Rebecki. Great win. So I don't think Grant Dawson is shit. I just think Manuel Torres is that fucking dangerous. So I'm going to pick Manuel Torres. I am going to be shitting bricks in the first round because there's a lot riding on this. I'm not hammering the fuck. Do not hammer the house on Manuel Torres, please. You could bet Manuel Torres round one. Here's how I see Manuel Torres, actually. I see Manuel Torres as an Uros Medic of the lightweight division. That's how I see Manuel Torres. And I love fighters like Manuel Torres and Uros Medic. Now, you cannot promise that these guys will win every fight because they are a kill or be killed fighter. The problem is I don't trust Fiziev to put Manuel Torres on his ass and finish him. I don't. Fiziev has pillow hands. It took him 5 fucking rounds to finish 40-year-old Rafael dos Anjos. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Not to mention, he went twice with Justin Gaethje and both times got dropped with the uppercut. You know, Rufy just finished him with a straight right. And Rufy and Fiziev, or Rufy and Torres are the same build, the same kind of striker. I think Rufy is cleaner. I think he switches stances better, but it also takes Rufy longer to find his shots. Manuel Torres is much more aggressive, much more quick to the punch. He's hunting you down in the first. He wants that finish in the first when he's fresh, when he's powerful, when it's raw, when you guys are dry. And I think that's just Manuel Torres' game, and I don't think that's good for Fiziev. So I'm going to go with Manuel Torres by round 1 knockout. I am. You know, I do think it's going to suck if Fiziev loses. Obviously, it says he's born in Kyrgyzstan, but he represents Baku, Azerbaijan. I believe he lives there. No, he doesn't. Dude, what? Wait. He lives in Thailand with the ladyboys and shit. What's it with the back? I guess he was born in Kyrgyzstan, moved to Baku, and then moved to Thailand, I'm assuming. But anyways, he's representing Baku, Azerbaijan. It's going to suck for the fucking fans to see this guy get slimed out if it happens. But I'm going to go with Manuel Torres by round 1 slime out. Like everything I said, I think Manuel Torres is a nightmare matchup for Rafael Fiziev. If this does get out of the first, I'm going to be honest, Fiziev's probably going to win the fight. Better cardio. Been there, done that 5 rounds. More experience, fought the better competition. But this is just a nightmare matchup for Fiziev. And I hate picking a guy to win by round 1 TKO, but sometimes you have to. Like Uros Medic. I should have picked Uros Medic round 1 knockout. I bet on him round 1 knockout. But I didn't pick him because I was like, you know, dude, I think, what's his name? I think, oh my God. Neal, bro. Jeff Neal. I thought Jeff Neal would take it to the second, take it to the third, make it a scrap. But sometimes you just have to look at the matchup and be like, who's quicker, who's bigger, who's more powerful, and who's the finisher here? And that's Manuel Torres all day. He's the Uros Medic of lightweight. That's how I see it. And that's a nightmare matchup for Rafael Fiziev. So I'm going to pick Manuel Torres by round 1 knockout, round 1 slime out, catches him with a straight right, follows up with a straight or a shovel uppercut left. Okay, I shouldn't predict the exact finish, but straight right, maybe a left on the come up, maybe a hook, check hook, drops Fiziev, and just bop, finishes him on the ground and pound shots. Ref gives Fiziev a couple moments because they're in Baku. They don't want this guy getting finished in the first round. They're obviously trying to promote Fiziev in this main event. But it's a good matchup for Manuel Torres. So I'm going to pick Manuel Torres by round 1 knockout. That's the prediction, boys. Those are all the predictions for UFC Fight Night Baku. Obviously not very quick, kind of long predictions. But this is a good card. Not the best. Main event is so-so. Probably should be in the Apex. But I'm excited. Almost every fight on this card is exciting. It's fun. For me, in North America, it's going to be at 9 a.m. If you guys are from North America, it's going to be at 9 a.m. The card starts. If you guys are in Europe, this is a perfect card for you guys. It's going to be at... Actually... This might be fucked for you guys. If you guys are in Europe. Now that I think about it. Because when I was in Europe and I was watching the last year's Baku, that shit was at like 2 a.m. Or 12 or... Actually, it's not too bad. No, it's not too bad. No, this is actually good. This is good for European fans. Nonetheless, solid card. I'm going to be enjoying this one. I'm going to be watching this card. If you guys are watching this card, let me know in the comments down below. And let me know in the comments down below who you guys are picking in this main event. It is quite a close fight. If it gets out of the first, I got Fiziev. But first round is just too dangerous with Manuel Torres. So I'm going to go Manuel Torres round 1 knockout. But those are all my predictions. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will catch you guys in the next video. See you.